So here I am in an older version of Blender with the older version of HardOps and Boxcutter. And if we were to just bring up the timeline and get rid of it, bring up the outliner and get rid of that. So we have only the 3D view. If we press Ctrl tilde, we see that there's an issue with our object properties whenever 3D view is the only view available. And this is something that was reported by a user and is now something I'm happy to announce has been resolved. So here we are in Blender 3.1.0, and we will just get rid of our timeline, and we will get rid of our properties, and we'll get rid of our outliner. And if we press Ctrl tilde, we see that our object properties are intact. Kind of a strange bug, but I'm just happy to announce that it has been resolved. So 2Shape has also been improved for 3.0, where it's now working properly, no longer throwing an error. So I'm just going to hold Control, use a little box cutter to cut a box, press X twice in order to use intersect. From here, we'll just use dots as a jump off point here and create a perfect wedge by holding Control, Tab to pause this shape, and then we'll hold Shift whenever we click to apply it, so we have the shape kept live. With this as our selection, we can press QOT, which will activate 2Shape, and we can just roll the wheel until we get around to cylinder, which is the shape that we want to create. And from here, we can just press A in order to adjust our scale. And once we have it where we want, we could click to apply, and we now have this shape created. And just like that, we are now able to use this shape inside of Blender 3.0. So using bool scroll, we'll recall that shape, scale up just a little bit more to prevent any Boolean errors from occurring. But just like that, we now have 2Shape support in Blender 3, where it's no longer throwing an error. So map scroll is one of our options inside of Alt-M whenever it comes to HardOps, which is basically our material menu. So one of the main components of using map scroll is specifying a path in your preferences. So if we press Ctrl K, we could bring up our preferences just in the 3D view. And if you look at your maps folder, you can see that I already have a path set for my particular maps. But before we get in and begin doing that, I'm just going to select a piece and just shift click material scroll to just scroll to something that'll be a little bit more accommodating for what we plan to do. From here, I can press Alt-M again and jump into map scroll and just press E to just begin bringing up random maps. And I'm holding Alt and moving the mouse back and forth in order to adjust the amount of brightness, just so I can see things a little bit better. We could continue to press E in order to just jump the map and look at alternative combinations. And just like before, you can hold Control Shift and move your mouse in order to begin activating bump. So we'll bring in just a little bit of bump, maybe even hold Control and adjust the scale of things just a little bit for this. And we still have the flexibility of being able to press E and just jump through these random maps until we find absolutely the perfect map that speaks to us. So with that, let's just click and apply, and just wanted to show that map scroll is now working properly in Blender 3.0 and above. So for this example, I'll press Q, place a bevel, and then from here just draw a box, put a wedge on it, and we'll just hit it with a blank material. And let's change our render engine to cycles, and we'll be using GPU today. We'll press Alt-VB in order to just roll a blank light setup into our scene. Click and apply. Maybe even increase our roughness. And for this, I want to enable the visibility of our cutters just to display that there's no longer an issue with cutter visibility whenever it comes to cycles in Blender 3.0. This was also an issue that a user reported. Happy to announce that it has been resolved. Here we are in an older version of Blender, and using Boxcutter, we're just going to cut a few quick cuts in this box. And from here, if we press Ctrl Shift B, we bring up the Hops Bevel Boolean helper, which if we enable Booleans, we can see that this allows us to go in very quickly and enable the Booleans, making them visible. But there's also a bug where basically if we just press A and select everything, then X and delete everything, if we press Ctrl Shift B, we see that we get an error because there's no object present. So just a strange one. Let's go ahead and minimize that and go over to the current version of Blender, Blender 3.1.0. And if we press X and delete the cube, we can press Ctrl Shift B and we see that there's no longer an error coming up. So while it's a very strange situation to be pressing hotkeys for a bevel boolean helper without an object being present in your scene, it is at least now resolved. So bool stack is also now working properly for Blender 3. So to show it in action, if I have this object selected, I press Q and I go to stack, we can see that now this has been compressed into becoming a geometry node setup instead of just a bunch of booleans. Same thing with this one, press Q, stack, and we've now stacked this into being a 5 boolean single stack. And we could also alt click in order to unstack in the event that we ever need to, but we'll just go through, stack that, select this one. That one only has 1 boolean, so we won't even bother stacking it. We'll stack this one, select this door. We see this one has quite a few booleans, go through and stack it. Just like that, stacking is now back to being supported inside of Blender 3.0.